Listen up. You are now listening to News with My Fiancé with DJ Bush and Morgan Jones.
What it do? What does it do exactly?
Hello?
Yeah. Cheer.
Am I here? I can't hear me. So, I don't know if I'm here. I don't know if other people can hear me.
Is that a little better?
No, I still oh. Okay, yeah. I can hear me now.
Oh.
Well, because I can always hear you,
Right.
and so the sexism is real.
Okay.
Good morning.
Welcome to my Thursday. Attacks. Okay.
We did it. We made it. Y'all.
Morning, fiancés. What up?
How we doing?
Yeah.
Again,
Mhm.
been a week.
It has.
Lots has happened. I'm struggling with what day it is this week. Like I thought it was Wednesday. Or no, I thought it was Tuesday on Wednesday. It's
No.
been and then the date was getting me. I thought it was earlier.
Oh, I kept thinking it was later.
I
I kept thinking my doctor's appointment was the next day. And it's not like till Friday, which is tomorrow. So it's finally the next day.
It's finally the next day.
But like since Tuesday, it's like, oh, it's tomorrow. It's not.
It wasn't.
No.
Yeah.
The 9th was always tomorrow, Friday.
It's true.
Yeah. Unless it's today, let me say. Okay. No,
Tomorrow's
today is the 8th.
Friday,
Okay.
and it's the night. You've nailed it.
All right.
Yeah, I'm moving a little slow. Brains, I've been up since 5. Not of my own choice or accord, as they say. And so
Doing witchy stuff.
And I went to sleep at 1.
Doing witchy stuff, folks.
So good luck to everybody today. We'll see how it goes.
Hey, Shell. Said good fiance morning.
Oh, good morning. Hi, Michelle. How are you?
Man.
I didn't get to see the message, but Ambush was telling me about Michelle's confusion along with ours of not even realizing when Cori Bush was up for was being primaried.
Yeah. No idea.
Did not know. And in all the text messages, onslaughts of emails, the ads, the give money to a Democrat around the country, become friends with people in Kentucky and send them your bread. Not a word.
I could not watch a YouTube video without seeing that ad for Kamala.
Well, it went straight from the Joe Byron ones, friends, listen, to her.
Not tomorrow, today.
It's to now, guys.
Yeah. And then, like you
Money
said,
time.
also getting text messages about random Democrats and different sides, and no word about Cori. None at all.
I just
Primary by a black man, supported by Aipac.
they're really, there's really great things.
Yeah, your face.
That's progress. Just got to get that person who's running to the right of you and calling it the center. Got to get the big office.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got to get that. Can't have the lady that would sleep outside to prove points about homelessness. Can't have that.
No.
What I did appreciate, though, is in her, I don't know.
Concessions?
Yeah, thank you. She was like, this job didn't do nothing but radicalize me even more than I was. And that is what I want to hear from every single person who gets primaried that is trying to make the world better for all of us.
Yeah.
And is eye on the prize when it comes to none of us are free until we're all free. And that radicalization, I just don't know how we are so slow on the uptake.
Yeah.
You know, I just but things are happening. I don't mean Cori Bush is slow on the uptake.
Oh, definitely not.
To be clear.
But it's scary, you know? When you're up against so much.
Yeah.
And you haven't been having conversations or exploring what it means to live outside of these systems of oppression. Like you illuminated me and clearly made it, a little easy for me to understand by simply using the word imagination. I love my imagination. I use it wildly all the time.
Yeah,
for the best dad jokes. And to be able to apply that, like that, you got to think this could be different. It doesn't just because this is what you've always known doesn't mean it's the only thing. It's the only way.
Right.
Especially when you have so many complaints and gripes about how it is. Why wouldn't you think that we're not supposed to live like this? Like this absolutely no, that ain't it, man. That ain't it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I can imagine that, the actor who played Tony Stark can play Dr. Doom, I should be able to imagine
oh my God.
that we can live in a less oppressive society.
Well, can we if the same actor is playing all the roles? I don't know. Sounds like a monopoly on the roles over there.
To quote this great actor.
Oh, great.
New mask, same task.
Okay. Is that actually what he said?
That's literally what he said.
At like Comic-Con or something?
He did.
Is it the same task?
To deliver, man.
Oh, yeah. I see. Yeah. Not the character.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm pretty sure they have opposing views, but okay. We got a few text messages. Morning, Fiancé Fambly.
Hey.
Rudo and Harper reporting for Thursday morning fun times in our ever-evolving hellscape. XOXO. Good morning.
Morning. John says, Aipac strikes again. Yes.
Yes.
Indeed. And again, the way they keep doing...
What was it? 9 million? 9 milli?
And the way they keep tweeting like...
We did it! Sorry.
Yo, definitely that. Like, wait, man.
Pro-Israel policy gets the job done.
Oh, my gosh.
Another text. Fantastic rising, fiancé. Well, let's just walls right into this beautiful Thursday morning.
P-Town. Yes,
Good
indeed.
morning, P-Town. Yo. So, yeah, there's that.
There's definitely that.
We will be talking about the current VPs / presidential candidates VP pick.
Right.
Could have gone a bunch of ways.
Yeah. Tim Waltz.
Put that T right in there, baby. Just can't help ourselves. Just cannot help ourselves. That meme really threw me for a loop yesterday. I was like, yikes. Sir, the blacks are putting the T in walls. Yeah.
I think I said it like once and caught myself. I was like, wait a minute, this man's name is Waltz. What is it? Let me go look again. It's Walls.
There's no T.
Ambush. Walls. Okay. We got it.
Yeah. I don't know what that is, but...
That will not save us in the future, though. It's going to happen.
It certainly will.
Yeah.
Yeah, gonna talk about that.
For sure.
There's there's just so much. Yeah. Like, I feel like we are behind and caught up, but also very behind. Yeah. Stuff just keeps happening.
With the Cori situation, though, like,
yeah,
like we were saying before, we didn't know, right? Some might say the Dems distracted us. It was a distraction.
It kept us distracted.
With Kamala and
the VP
and the VP pick. You know what I'm saying? It could have been a distraction that Cori was being primary. Sure, and it worked because I hadn't the slightest. But what should that supportive look like? in your opinion, outside of just the text messages? Like, what do we want to see as progressives in other states? What do we want to see as far as involvement when we know that there are key seats up? How would you like to be engaged?
I think we need to be talking about records all the time, and they don't get to do that. So very specifically, anyone who has entered Congress and is put into the squad are, watched like hawks until it's time for them to get press for something they need. Like, you're not hearing about the great things in the same way. And I think that that's the thing. Talk about that every day. Talk about what it means to have someone like Cori Bush in Congress. Yeah. And they started out that way. And they always start out that way. Once, and this is not me. They always start out that way. It's like, this is such a big deal. Look at this representation, and we can do that part, but that we only go that far. And really talk to us about what it looks like for the lives that are being changed by the policies that she is working on. And that is true. I mean that for every other person who is implementing progressive policies, much like Tim Walz. I did not know all of the things that he had gotten done in Minnesota.
Did not. Running through those videos with you last night and hearing the list of things he's accomplished is like, is that where we're all supposed to be moving to?
Right.
Who knew? We're supposed to be kicking in Minnesota right now?
Well, if you listen to, which we listen, but we don't believe. But if you listen to, any right-wing situation about Minnesota, they're just going to tell you that, they're flooded with immigrants and they're giving them, everything.
Yeah.
And what I appreciate, I'll just say this real briefly about Walz, is when confronted with those claims of socialism, or this sounds like it sounds like, people could use your record against you because socialism, and he's like, you can call it that, I call it building roads. We're just going to keep building roads. We're going to keep building schools. We're going to keep,
Yeah.
That's it. We don't hear about those things the way we do about the, some misstep or, so I would love for, even if those folks were going, like, everybody has to do press runs, right? Maybe you're not doing your press runs with the press that won't actually get your message out, and you need to speak to some independent media more frequently. I'm not saying don't do CNN, but also
CNN isn't doing you. Don't do CNN.
Right.
No, it's a good point.
And I'll keep thinking about this because I try and put me on the spot and stuff. But,
no,
but really, I mean, I think that we don't have like the same network. You know how like every morning the new Republican talking point has hit everybody. Like they just wake up to like bullet points that they just run with. And I'm not saying the Democratic Party doesn't do that. I just know that it is very coordinated, right? And that's not something that we have. We don't have here are the things that have been happening in progressive legislation around the country. We just don't have that. And at least maybe if it exists, I don't know about it. I'll say that. And I think the more that it's hard to keep your eye on the ball in other states, at all times. So the more that we are able to sort of champion the things that are happening quietly around the country so that it's not so quiet.
Yeah.
So that folks can understand that those actual policies are life-changing in a better way rather than some burden to society.
I feel like a lot of this is just, run-of-the-mill self-defeating democratic behavior, right? I'm often having conversations in one of my text threads with a homie that is just centrist Democrat. And when I'm mentioning like the missteps or the missed opportunities for Dems to talk about things they're getting done, he concedes to that point and says, well, they've never been good at marketing themselves. They've never been good at marketing their wins. But then they just move on. And it's like, it's a losing strategy.
Right.
It's a losing strategy not to do that. Coupled with the infighting, because at this point, you know, it's the Republicans, it's the Democrats, it's the progressives. But it's 3 parties, right? Just mentioning those situations. But it's actually 2. You have the Dems and the progressives all on the left fighting each other. When you're talking about, like, you know, when the new talking points hit for the Republican side, everybody's on code. Right. Tampon tam. Everyone's on code. This is what we're doing. This is what we're running with for the first half of the week. Second half of the week, we'll attack his war record. Right. These are the talking points.
Right.
The Dems are just like, so...
America's Dad, am I right?
You guys want to do a TikTok dance?
Am I right?
Nance, you want to put the kente cloth on? Let's do that.
Ambush.
What?
Why do you have to bring that up?
Because it's one of the most despicable moments in politics. They tried to play on my phone.
They didn't try.
And send that picture to the interwebs via C on my cellular device.
They did it.
Them kneeling in kente cloth.
Well, someone had to support the George Floyd.
Oh.
Who else was going to do it?
Yeah.
Who else?
Lord have mercy.
I got to shake it. I got to wake it up. I'm having a hard time. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
I spent too much time yesterday, I think, just raging about Rene Gonzalez. I don't know.
You guys know we will continue to rage. Rage against Rene.
The machine.
The machine. He's doing a really good job, though, of like putting the nails in his own coffin. He's doing
Which is wild. How do you do it?
He's efficient, man.
When you're on the inside of the coffin.
Yeah.
How do you get the nails?
He's sliding them through the crack. And he's like, here, use this one.
Nimble.
Get this one.
Those fingers are nimble.
Man.
He's good at this.
I just, if we end up, and I'm feeling more and more, with every nail he slides us, I'm feeling better and better about his chances of losing. But if we do end up with Rene, like, more than ever before, it's such an indictment on us. Like, it really is. Like, nothing matters. Not a thing matters if we get him. Like, seriously, y'all? Nothing matters.
Well, I mean, I hear you.
Take down the Black Lives Matter signs. Take down all the stuff off your... I don't want to... Get it all gone. Get it all gone. I don't want it.
Well, I certainly don't want it either.
The performance, I don't want it.
I don't want to go too far, so I will just say I also don't want it. But that I think that we cannot lose sight of the enormous moneyed interest in trying to get someone like Rene elected, someone like Nathan Vasquez elected.
Yeah.
Ousting people that are more understanding of not just the injustices, but the actual built-in oppression from all of these systems, and trying to right some of those wrongs. And how dare they? You know, hey, how dare you? I can't believe you would even try. So yeah, it is an indictment. Don't get me wrong. It's just also, it also makes sense. There's so much money that goes into telling people that their pants are on fire.
Right.
Like your actual pants, the pants you're wearing right now on fire. And it costs a lot of money to do people, you know, in that regard. And it doesn't cost as much money now as it used to, but this has been centuries, you know? I just thinking about how much the propaganda has stayed the same and changed, you know, like the messages are still exactly the same. So, you know, it does make sense. And it is also incredibly disheartening and disappointing that we are not collectively doing more to learn more, to unlearn more, to do better, to use our imaginations. It is honestly terrifying. Because I just don't, I mean, if we've all just given up, then we've given up, you know? And I don't know how to motivate that. Well, let me be clear. I don't know how to motivate anybody. But
I think we have listeners that would disagree. But.
Well, I mean, you know, I'll take that. Thank you. Appreciate you.
There you go.
But I don't know how to motivate folks who have gotten to the point of that level of, you know, loss of.
I'm thinking, I'm like, apathy isn't the word that we're looking for, but you feel disenfranchised.
For
to
sure.
the point where it's just like, bleh.
Like, what's the point?
Yeah.
And I don't know how to motivate that because we don't have, I can't show you pictures, you know, like I can't illustrate. This is what happens when you're engaged. It literally, you have to use your imagination. You have to think about the world you want.
Yeah.
And then we have to create it. And we're not going to get to do any of that if we sit with our head in our lap and just say, never mind.
Yeah. And it's hard. I mean,
incredibly.
Yeah. I always suggest start small, start local, start within your family, start within your friends group, having these conversations and doing mutual aid and, you know, just, again, using your imagination to fix issues and perspectives that you've grown up with. But there are so many things that are happening, you know, nationally, internationally, that's just like a heavy weighted blanket that just wants to push you right back into the bed.
Yeah.
And just like, I'm just going to sit out this week of news because I can't.
Yeah. And I understand the impulse.
Yeah.
And I hope that we all understand the privilege in being able to do that. And that's not to say that you know, need to harm yourself every day by watching the news and staying engaged. I mean, like, if you are able to say, I'm just not engaging with that, I'm just going to not watch the news anymore. I'm not going to, you know, that there's privilege in that. There's stuff that you don't need to know, apparently.
Yeah, apparently. You're good without it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, we can't know everything, but I definitely, I want people to want to be more informed. You know, like, we do not get the appropriate level of education about our own history, our own present, our own capacity of future. And so we have to do more. And it seems like, how could I do more? And I get that, but like, we have to do more.
Yeah.
Jake Tapper is not going to cut it.
Lord have mercy, Jake.
You know, like, we're not going to be able to just have the 24 news cycle just playing in the background where you're not really even picking anything up except for the parts that radicalize you to the right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, all of a sudden you care about immigrants coming and getting food stamps. Why?
Why? For what reason?
I really want you to think about why you think it's okay to make sure people don't eat. Why do you want that?
Who told you that that was your money?
Well,
who told you that you were losing your resources? That otherwise, that, you know, well, if we weren't feeding them, you'd what? Well,
here's the cold part. I do understand for a lot of people who are like, I'm struggling over here, and I don't meet the criteria to get help, but I also can't do it on my own. And that's a real position. That is a lot of people's spot where you are working full time, and you cannot make all of the ends meet, but you make too much money to get help from the government.
Right.
That is most Americans, you know, experience at some point in their life, if not most of it. And so I understand the impulse, because we have been completely indoctrinated with, see that person over there, they're coming to take your things.
Mm-hmm.
The person telling you that is the person who took your things.
All of your things.
That person has all of your things and all of their things.
They have things you didn't even know
existed.
Right.
Literally.
Wait, that's a thing? Yeah.
We're over here talking about, weren't we supposed to have cars that fly like the Jetsons? And they probably do.
Yeah. Got them.
Ben had them. You know, like that. So, one, we have to understand and unlearn the things that made us look at all of, you know, that live in these caste systems, that live in these same stereotypes and, you know, oppressive thoughts, and the anti-women sentiment, anti-Black sentiment, any sort of non-conformity to white heteronormative culture. And
I see where you're going. You went to sports with that. You're talking about boxers. I see exactly where you went. Sure. Good segue.
See, when things like this happen, I forget what I was talking about. So I have literally no idea what I was even saying now. Thanks for
well, again, man, thanks, Obama. We got Bob. Cable news, in quotes, news equals the outrage industrial complex.
Yes. Coin that. Did you coin? Is that you?
Yeah, that's all. Yeah,
bars.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and we see that it's doing its job. It's doing its job in both ways, for both sides of the aisle. You know, no child left behind in that regard. Right. We can absolutely outrage anybody.
P-Town, the Popsaganda from Daddy America, 3Ks, Tim. No one wants daddy issues. Oh, man. So what are we going to be talking about this week?
Well, Ambush, I'm on top of it.
All right.
In local news, Rene Gonzalez has done nothing but waste our time and money, make false police reports, kill citizens, and all he got was a Wikipedia page.
Bruh.
Y'all.
Y'all hear about this?
I don't know if you know this, but Wikipedia is free. So we go. In national news, far-right violence is sweeping across the UK amid disinformation and anti-migrant sentiment. Wow, I wonder what's happening. Also, let's keep our eye on Canada, because they're doing a lot about the wrong thing.
Oh, okay.
They are also being swept up in disinformation and anti-immigrant sentiment. And boy, let me tell you this about that. You sound stupid.
Where's Steve Bannon right now?
In the war room. What do you mean? He's doing his podcast before he goes to prison.
This stuff don't happen without him.
It certainly does not.
Yeah.
Bannon has laid the groundwork, and he did it many years ago, and we have been watching his dominoes fall for years. And I'll tell you this, the fact that Trump's entire administration is still normalized as if they were not actual, so not all of them, Nazis.
Right.
And I don't use that like being funny. Stephen Miller, the slippery little snake that is Stephen Miller, is an actual, factual Nazi.
Yeah. Proudly.
And he's out here right now still talking. And these cable outlets are still talking to him.
Right.
With not enough pushback, to me, if you are unable to shut a person like that down, you are unable to host a person like that.
Yeah, don't have them.
Don't have them on.
I mean, think about it like it was in person, our house, you're having a house party. If there's a guest that every single time you invite them, you can't get them to leave, eventually you stop inviting them. Don't do it. This person's unmanageable. Right. Out of control. They're always throwing food into the pool. No.
Can't have it.
Can't have you. You don't know how to conduct yourself.
No. Before we get too far off, the other national news. Harris and Walz rally Democrats across the Midwest as running mates.
Yeah, man.
And we got a big announcement.
We do.
It's big. It's an announcement.
It's going to be so
The announcement
awesome.
is big.
Yeah.
And it's not happening in the top of the show because you got to stay around.
But you guys are faithful listeners anyways. we know you'd stick around for the whole show, so we're not using it like bait or anything. But we know once we make the announcement, the rest of the show's going to possibly be derailed. It's that huge.
Okay, I am not a fan of this kind of
ramping up.
Yeah, foreshadowing. I don't.
Okay.
Well, it's not foreshadowing. I don't like it. It's too much.
Step into my multiverse, brah. I've been here. Okay. You're Tony. I'm Doctor Strange. I'm putting up the one finger.
You're a wizard.
This is the one. This is the one way that works. I've seen the future.
Okay. Thank you. Text says, hey, so I'm considering running for political office. Do y'all have any taxpayer dollars I can have to scrub my wiki page?
Yes, John, we do.
No, they're gone. Sorry. Rene got to them first. Those wiki dollars.
Oh, God.
So, yeah, we'll be talking about Rene. We're going to do a big announcement. The far right just doing all the things and the stuffs. And Harris picked walls. So we'll be back.
We'll be right back.
Okay. I'm trying to hype myself up because I have no energy.
Because you didn't get any sleep.
I didn't.
For anyone just joined the show, you got like 4 hours, bro.
I did.
It wasn't even like a solid 4.
It wasn't.
No.
And so I'm struggling. So I'm trying to hype myself up. I'm trying to, get it going. And this is like one of those days where I don't, it's like a nonstop kind of day.
Yeah. Schedule's intense.
So there isn't even a cute nap I could grab or,
No, I'm laughing because you said cute nap. I'm thinking like, not, is there any other type of nap?
Yeah. There are ugly naps, the ones that don't really help. And you wake up and you're even worse off.
Is that, okay, so that's the nap in between the power nap and the cute nap.
Yeah.
The cute nap's what you need. That power nap is a very specific number you got to hit that works for your body. Mm-hmm. But anything in between that, that's an ugly nap.
Maybe. Indeed.
Rude awakening.
Indeed.
Gotcha. All right.
And if you're wondering, fiancé is like, what do you mean? Like, when you wake up at, 6 in the evening and it's dark outside and you think it's 6 in the morning and you're completely discombobulated. Ooh. And it's very hard to get uncombobulated.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Not good.
Not great. So, I don't know. I figure Rene Gonzalez talk will probably make me mad enough to have some energy.
I think so.
Because who else but Rene would misappropriate taxpayer money to pay someone to work on a free site? Who else? Rene is back up on his BS again. Portland commissioner and mayoral candidate Rene Gonzalez has come under fire for using taxpayer funds to polish his Wikipedia page. Gonzalez spent $6,400 of city money to hire a New York-based company, White Hat Wiki, to develop edits and train staff on managing his Wikipedia profile. The edits included adding his law degree and highlighting his work on a public drug use ban. However, not all changes were approved by volunteer editors, and some controversial mentions remain on his page.
Oh, gosh.
This isn't the first time Gonzalez has made headlines recently. Just a few weeks ago, he stirred controversy with a social media post showing appreciation for right-wing media personality Andy No. And I don't really want to call him a provocateur. Saboteur.
Definitely. But he's quite the personality, too.
With zero personality, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Gonzalez, a self-proclaimed lifelong Democrat, acknowledged No's criticism of anti-fascist protesters and even shared his own grievances about local protests and safety concerns.
As a lifelong Democrat, would this be him being bipartisan? Is this him reaching across the aisle?
To who? Andy No?
Yeah.
Okay. The nod to No has sparked backlash from both progressive groups and some of his conservative supporters. In other news, Mayor Ted Wheeler has appointed Gonzalez to a new steering committee overseeing the Joint Office of Homeless Services, The committee will have a significant role in monitoring the office's performance and spending, which is exactly where he should be.
Yeah.
A task Gonzalez has been openly critical of since taking office. He has pushed for more accountability and a balanced approach to addressing, balance in big quotes, approach to addressing homelessness, advocating for policies that do not, quote, enable what he describes as self-destructive behavior. As the mayoral race gets moving, Gonzalez's actions and affiliations continue to draw both support and criticism, making him one of the most talked about candidates in the upcoming election.
He should be the least talked about candidate, honestly. We need to be talking about the candidates. But
true.
Yeah.
Here we are talking about him.
We want you to be armed to the teeth.
Seriously, we gotta, and I want you to be armed to the teeth, but I want you to also remember it. So if you have a memory like mine, write that down and put it in your pocket, because the egregiousness, the ridiculousness of Rene it's just stacking.
Yeah,
it's just stacking, and we know that people's memories are
week to week.
Yeah, news cycle's done, y'all. We already forgot what he did. 2 months ago.
Yeah.
You're not remembering. Did someone do something to a car at his house, or did he, what was it again?
Oh, no, that wasn't him. That was Joanne. Oh.
And that's what happens.
Yeah.
So yeah, we need to, this is the same person who signed up for the small donor program and then took in-kind donations of office space for his campaign in downtown Portland
with no penalty,
with zero, and got away with it.
Yeah,
was investigated, and they were like, "Well, I guess naturally NBD."
Right.
Yo, it can't be that, and we can't forget that. We can't just move on. He does not get to be the mayor. We have that mayor. We don't need that. We don't need more of that.
Seriously, we don't need worse.
Certainly don't need worse, but we cannot have more of the same either. And there's the marketing and the PR has been winning and has been giving people the idea that performative campaign rhetoric means policy, and it doesn't. So when he's out here saying, we want to be compassionate and not enable
just self-destructive behavior.
Right. He also means he doesn't want to enable Portland Street Response to be helpful. He doesn't want to enable the government dollars to do what we've asked them to be done with. I said that wrong, but I think he was the point.
Yeah.
He's a hindrance, an enemy of progress, if you will.
If you will.
And a person who does not see the humanity in people, so he's not going to care later about how much destruction and damage he did.
There are countless instances specifically to that point. Like, that's the through line for pretty much anything that we keep throwing at the wall about Rene. You falsely accuse someone of assault because this isn't even a person to you. This is an opportunity.
Period. Spread false information about your opponent. No big deal, because I'm just campaigning.
Right.
Align yourself with the people who will absolutely do smear campaigns, just doing full-blown misogynoir.
Right.
And then tell us you don't know what that word means, or never heard of it.
Patrick 2025, I don't know that stuff. Shout out to the crew that is doing the Say No Way to Rene posters all over the place.
Yes.
Do you really want this man for mayor? Do you really? Shout out to them. And they've got a bunch of tweets in there, just, documenting his foolishness. It needs to be a foregone conclusion that this man does not have the best interest in our city.
Right.
Again, I think it was a photo, was it earlier this week or late last week with our news cycle? Our shows, I'm not sure where it falls sometimes, where he's in a photo with some woman here in Portland, and he says something to the effect of hey, Portland, we can clean up nice when we want to.
Oh, I can tell you. It said, ladies for Rene, we clean up nice when we want to, or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
it's just like, wow, guy, really?
I mean, it's almost impossible to believe him for any part of it. Like if he walked up to me and said, "Hello, my name is Rene Gonzalez," I'd be like, "Is it?
Is it?
I don't know. Prove it. Show me your ID."
Yeah, birth certificate.
He's so performative. Like, I can't get over that picture. If I didn't dislike his smug face so much, I would put that him at Pride picture everywhere. It's the epitome of performative.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, oh, look at you. Made it to Pride, did you?
Yeah. You gone and done it.
You went and did it.
Congratulations.
And now there's going to be, the gays for Rene.
Right.
Huh?
Right. And it's interesting, right? Because let's take it all the way back to, I don't think, Rene, of course, saying this, I don't think there's 12 people here smart enough.
Never forget. Never forget. They're not qualified.
They're not qualified. They're not smart enough to run the city.
You guys weren't smart. You were so dumb. You were so dumb. You didn't know what you voted for.
So, who do you think he's talking about? I mean, no matter where you fall in that, he's big. Who do you think he's talking about? Like, this is not the person for you. More importantly, who is the person for you? Right?
Mm-hmm.
What are our options? What's the playing field looking like right now? It's similar to, like the whole Cori Bush situation. What are our options and where are you guys? Where's this conversation, man?
Who guys? Which guys?
Whoever we're supposed to be voting for.
Oh.
I need some loud situations happening. I need some pronounced. I need pyrotechnics.
Oh, boy.
I need something. We can't be...
that sounds like a performance, though, Amber.
Well, if it's a good one.
Oh, okay.
Okay, sorry about that, guys. I don't mean that at all. Morgan just passed out. Like, she gave up the ghost.
I did. That's it. That's it. That's all.
No, but again, how many months do we have left? What are we doing?
Very few, actually. Very, very few.
No.
I mean, we will have to do that conversation. Maybe it's the next time, or maybe it's an
event, a forum, or something.
Right. But
I'm just saying he keeps himself in the news, good or bad.
He does not believe in bad press.
No,
I'll tell you that.
He does not.
And what I appreciate, that might be the only thing I appreciate about Rene, is that he still has yet to figure out that the bad press is bad. And that some of the bad press is bad enough to really make people upset. Like, he's just one of those people, though, that just rides it out. Like, he's just like, I'm not going to look at social media, or I'm just not going to get on the bus for a while.
Yeah.
Like, and then once I'm back on the bus, they'll have forgotten.
Yeah.
That's the last time I was on the Max.
This is what I did. This is how I conducted
created
myself.
A false police report.
Jeez.
I mean, talk about a person who's always on some resources stuff, and you just wasting all our time.
I thought you cared about resources, sir.
I mean, can we just get back really quickly to $6,400? How do you, number one, that's a campaign expense, is it not?
No, it is. 100%.
Like, if you're cleaning up your Wikipedia page so that you don't look as bad as you are.
Why do we have to pay for that?
Why would we pay for that? Why would we pay for that for you to lie to us?
Right.
To tell us you ain't that bad. We live here.
And what's the penalty? What's the penalty?
Probably nothing. Because I will never get over the fact that Jordan Schnitzer was able to say, well, the downtown market's just not what it used to be.
And they let that ride.
They let that ride. I'm not going to get over that.
I wonder if we can say that to our landlords.
No. We wouldn't be able to say that to our landlord if our landlord was Jordan Schnitzer.
Right.
Like, there is all of that should make him completely out of the conversation.
There's been a couple of times that we've said that over and over again. Like, this should be it.
This should be it.
This should be it. This issue right here, Well, how are you still showing your face in public?
You're dunzo. Oh no, I'm a bozo. That's
Right.
what that is.
Right.
I keep thinking that people care about things. They don't.
Yeah. It's following the Ted Wheeler school of thought, school of politics. I'm just gonna keep. You're gonna keep seeing my face no matter what.
Right.
I'm in these streets, bro.
I got a date. What do you want me to do? Stop dating because there's a pandemic? I mean, get out of my face.
Get over yourself, man. Come on.
You don't want a quarantine partner?
No,
I do.
Fine. You can protest outside my crib. We're going out. See you guys when we get back. Oh my god.
Okay. We got to move forward.
Okay. All right. We'll do another music break.
Okay.
We'll come back and talk about Harrison Waltz.
The actor or Harrison Ford?
You want more views from Morgan Jones and DJ Ambush?
You know you do.
Then I suggest tuning in to News with My Fiancé sister show, Views with My Fiancé. Just look up Views with My Fiancé on your favorite podcatcher app. Do it!
For real. So during the music break, which was a fantastic song, I stood up, tried to shake it out, stretched a lot, and I fell asleep.
Mid-stretch.
So, what is wrong?
You stretched into sleep.
I'm so, I just help.
MGZ.
Yeah. This text says it's not too early for a glass of wine. So I think that I just figured out how to wake up.
P-Town.
Okay. This says, P.S. It's not too early for a glass of wine if you call them mimosa. That is funny.
Jeez.
Question. If Rene gets splashed with some freshly made moon water, do you think he will melt? Honestly, I'm gonna just leave it.
Who's to say?
Who's to say? That's that.
That's that on that.
And that's that on that.
Well, you had something?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Well, let's get into it, man. Harrison Waltz rally Democrats across the Midwest as running mates. Vice President Kamala Harris and Minnesota Governor Tim Walz spent their first full day as running mates on Wednesday, rallying Democrats across the Midwest, a crucial and politically divided region. Their trip began in Wisconsin and continued to Michigan, aiming to shore up support among younger, diverse, labor-friendly voters, instrumental in President Joe Biden's 2020 victory. However, this coalition showed signs of fraying over the summer, particularly in Michigan, where Biden's handling of the Israel-Hamas conflict sparked Democratic divisions. With Biden out of the race and Harris officially the Democratic nominee, Arab American community leaders and key unions expressed encouragement at the running mate choice. Walz's addition to the ticket has eased some tensions, signaling Harris's awareness of concerns regarding another contender, Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro, who some felt overly supported Israel. The party is recognizing that there is a coalition they have to build, said Abdullah Hammoud, the mayor of Dearborn, Michigan. Picking Walz is another sign of good faith. I do recall the last time Biden went to Michigan, that mayor was like, I'm cool. I'm not going to meet him. I'm good. I'm good. So it's good to feel that they feel better. Wisconsin Senator Tammy Baldwin, a Democrat seeking a third term, appeared with Harris at a campaign stop last month in suburban Milwaukee. She expressed excitement in a fundraising email, stating that she was thrilled to see a fellow Midwesterner at the top of the ticket. Meanwhile, former President Donald Trump emphasized his appeal to voters by selecting Ohio Senator J.D. Vance as his vice presidential pick. Vance mirrored the Harris-Walz ticket campaign stops, beginning his day in Shelby Township, Michigan, and then heading to Eau Claire, Wisconsin. Vance used his Michigan appearance to criticize Harris for illegal immigration, claiming it led to more crime and arguing she was not on the side of the police. We've got to throw Kamala Harris out of the office, not give her a promotion, Vance said.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
While Walz countered by highlighting higher violent crime rates during Trump's presidency. Republicans are attempting to portray Walz and Harris as too liberal for the Midwest, with Senator Ron Johnson, Republican from Wisconsin, calling Walz part of the radical crazy left as Vice President Harris. Radical crazy left. In Michigan, Democratic enthusiasm surged following Harris's candidacy announcement. Reverend Wendell Anthony, president of the NAACP Detroit branch, noted the excitement was mind-blowing, likening it to Barack Obama's first presidential run in 2008. However, Democratic leaders in Michigan had concerns that choosing the wrong running mate could slow momentum and fracture the coalition. Arab American leaders influential in Michigan's metro Detroit area were particularly vocal against Shapiro due to his comments regarding the Israel-Hamas conflict. Osama Sablani, publisher of the Dearborn-based Arab American News, met with White House advisor Tom Perez to express concerns that Shapiro's nomination would end future conversations. The pushback from Arab Americans and union leaders was a major factor in Harris' decision not to choose Shapiro. Michigan State Senator Jeremy Moss, who is Jewish, was disturbed by the criticism of Shapiro, but recognized the importance of unity among Democrats. The nation's largest auto workers union, the United Auto Workers, quickly endorsed Harris after she stepped in for Biden. UAW President Shawn Fain praised Walz, stating he would make a great vice president, and has supported the working class. Representative Debbie Dingell, a Democrat with deep connections in Dearborn, echoed these sentiments, stating that Walz's choice would increase excitement at the Detroit rally. As Harris and Walz continue to campaign across the Midwest, their efforts to unify and energize the Democratic base will be critical in the upcoming election. Their ability to address and reconcile the diverse concerns within the party may determine their success in winning the White House. What I've seen has had me completely confused.
Go on.
Firstly, very happy don't have to vote for Joe Biden. Secondly, I was a little concerned, I think I've expressed that on the show, about Kamala's chances at winning because she is a black woman.
Yeah.
Now, whether she is black is in dispute.
Well, we should have really seen that coming.
You should have saw that coming.
I'm really mad at myself, actually, for thinking that they would just do the regular anti-blackness.
Right.
And instead
we're
layers. They were like, actually, our racism's intersectional.
Yeah, we got some play here.
Look what we can do.
So we'll go room with the racism.
Yeah.
The way that, I know we spoke this a little bit last week, the way that the energy is ramping up around her is like, whoa, wait a minute.
Yeah.
This is, what's happening? And then you add Walz. And this is not real. I am, of course it's real, but I'm just like, what is actually happening now?
Samesies.
What is going on?
Honestly, I am pleased that she did not choose Shapiro.
Yeah.
I don't know enough about Mayor Walz. Is he the mayor or the governor?
Governor.
He's the governor. My bad. No disrespect.
Try to play you, fam.
No disrespect.
Try to play you, Walz.
Every time. He's gonna get me every time. I don't know enough. And what I do know, or what I've learned in the last couple of days, for the most part, is pretty great.
Yeah.
And I want to remind us all there is no such thing as like a perfect politician. That doesn't exist. Our idea and what we allow politicians to do and get away with is honestly insane.
Right.
But what walzzz has been able to do in Minnesota with many progressive policies implemented, not just talked about. Now, what I do understand is that there are some, things on the record that aren't a fave. And I'm not trying to be dismissive to that. I don't know enough yet. And so I want to make sure that I understand all of the things.
Right.
So instead of me talking about walzzz in that regard, and I just want to remind us to not be swept up in the excitement. Be excited. I don't want to take that away from you, but don't be swept up in what the media is doing and always does in the way of creating this new,
political personality.
Political personality that now we need, that's our dad.
It's America's dad.
That's America's dad and America's auntie. And like, we don't have to do this. And I know why it gets done and it does work, but we need to be paying attention to policies, not personalities, not the, putting folks on a pedestal and then becoming super tribal about them. Yeah. And are unable to critique the things that they have done or said or are doing and acting on. And every single politician needs to be critiqued. Anybody who's in charge needs to be critiqued. Period. It's
part of the process.
It's part of it. And when you're in charge of people's lives, when you're in charge of budgets for programs that people rely on, like we need to be. So from what I understand, for the most part, this is a person who I would certainly want.
Right.
A former teacher, former football coach. That part doesn't. I don't think it should play football, but I do understand the importance of coaches.
Yeah,
I'll say that.
Definitely. Relationships.
Yeah. A former union paying member who sees the value in collective bargaining, and so much so made it illegal in Minnesota to do captive audience anti-union meetings.
Mm-hmm. There's a laundry list.
There's quite a list.
Yeah. And in that, right, like you said, no one is above critique, first off. And when we're talking about our legislative leaders, we should be more inclined to critique in the form of checks and balances, using it that way. What I don't want to happen is for the critiques and the criticisms and the checks to outweigh and outmatch what the efforts.
Yeah.
So if we're talking about someone who is like in the 85th percentile of delivering the things that we want, it can't be us falling into Republican strategies and really harping and being loud about the 15%. That can't be it.
Right.
Because then all we're doing is doom and gloom, complaining. So no matter what changes have happened in Minnesota and what changes could happen at the national federal level, we're never going to be happy about it. Right?
Right.
So now we're spreading those seeds of discontent no matter what, as opposed to saying, look, but hey man, look what is happening over there in Minnesota.
Some steps are happening.
Some steps are happening. Things that they told us couldn't happen in our state are happening, and they're successful over there.
Does that state just have way more money or way more people?
Right. We got to make sure the conversation isn't being driven for us. And that's why I think things are getting a little bit sticky as we talk about, independent media. And definitely, I think, mainstream media is going to start doing the exact same thing because they have to have a conflict. They have to.
Yeah.
Yeah. With regards to me saying things are just off the rails, cuckoo bananas. Saw a story, the Latter-day Saints are poised to support Harris more than any other Democrat ticket in 60 years. The Latter-day Saints, bro.
LDS?
Bruh. Prince and them?
Nah, Prince is a Jehovah's Witness. Yeah.
Okay. Bruh.
Now we talk Mormons, baby.
Like,
yeah, that's wild.
Fam. Just everything is just, we're in the upside down. I don't know what's happening.
It really does feel like the upside down. It really does feel like I'm still sort of waiting for that other four shoes to drop, Yeah. Like, but I'm also
a trunk of shoes.
Exactly. But I'm also like, I want so badly for us to, seize moments when we're able to. And this is that's a vice president with a lot of shared, or candidate with a lot of shared values there.
Right. Don't fall to that the same way they're doing it with VP Harris, and it's like, you shouldn't vote for her. She's not black. Wait. What?
Okay. Can we just say this real fast? Don't vote for her because she's black, but she's not black. But also don't vote for her because she's Indian, but she's also black. What?
Excuse me?
If y'all are like, I wonder how that works.
Ooh, you know what? We should probably explain to our listeners what's actually happening. Because what you and I are discussing right now is happening most exclusively within Black Twitter, while we're getting these talking points from the right wing. It's a huge conversation within our particular community, that divisiveness. So
white supremacy works in amazing ways.
Read like a jingle.
Yes. White supremacy it really is fascinating to see how it gets deployed and see how it spreads and works and does, and has us doing the job for it.
Yeah.
I think that we started to briefly mention like the FBA
Foundation of Black
Americans and
ADOS. Yeah.
ADOS is American Descendants of Slaves. Those two communities that are seeking for not just their own standing, like differentiation. We are not those blacks, I guess.
Right. All right.
Are a very heavy in a way to differentiate themselves from Black people who are not descendants of slaves,
AKA me.
Which
it's like pitting you against me.
It is. That's exactly it. And if you don't immediately see that getting in groups to hate each other is how all of this continues to work, then this is how it continues to work.
Yeah.
When you are able to get people to, like, you are doing the imperialism, you are doing the American exceptionalism, you are doing the anti-immigrant sentiment, the build the wall to people that look like you, to people who are treated like you in this country. And that is white supremacy working. So when you have the conversation, they're now having conversations of, what's really blackness? And I'm tired. I'm tired of people asking rudimentary questions in bad faith.
Right.
Like Matt Walsh with What is a Woman? Be for real. Because look at them right now. Now all of a sudden the right is like, well, it's about more than just genitalia. Is it?
Oh, is it?
Wowie wee wow. I feel like that was something you said couldn't be possible. Biology, whatever. Like, but here we are. I don't know. I'm trying not to lose track.
It's fine. It's fine.
But what is happening is white supremacy gets deployed in so many different ways. Just within the Black community, there's already the anti-Kamala sentiment simply because she's a cop. There's already an anti-Kamala sentiment simply because she's a woman, especially a Black woman. And if you don't understand what I mean by that, there's, again, a lot of patriarchy and white supremacy that just we are indoctrinated with. And if you are not actively working to get that stuff out of your system and out of your brain, it is going to continue to rot you from the inside out.
Yep.
And there are a lot, not all, of Black men who have anti-Black women sentiment, period. And then if you give them a reason like, ooh, she was a prosecutor, they've never cared. They still believe the police. They still still listen when a police officer says they did or didn't do a thing. Right. But her, absolutely not. And here's the thing. ACAB all day for me.
All day. All day.
All day. There needs to be some consistency with what you're upset with, though. So are you mad that she was a prosecutor, or are you mad that she's a Black woman who's successful?
Right.
And sometimes it's just that. Right. It just takes that. And then we get to move on to the other white supremacist things, like that she's married to a white man.
Right.
So she can't be a real Black or a real Indian. Like, what do you, what?
What do you want?
So, I mean, amazing. It's absolutely incredible that the people who perpetuate and benefit from white supremacy and patriarchy are the people who try and tell you what the impact of those things are. They don't get to tell you what is racism or who is Black or not. Imagine that they're the people telling you what Blackness is. Donald Trump?
Oh, man. That's who you're listening to? We got a text. Suddenly that old one drop gets tossed.
Hello. Right out the window.
Pew.
Amazing how the one drop rule that used to be now you got dirty blood. Now, hey, she's two of those.
Hey, no.
It's confusing when you put two browns together.
Does it make it a white?
Does it make it a white? And if it does make it a white, then why are y'all so mad? Like, it's so wild to me. Don't vote for her because she's Black. Vote for her but don't vote for her because she's not Black. Okay. I know that we have a whole nother story, but we have an announcement and we're going to have to get to it or it's not going to happen. And I don't want to be called
I got electric just flowing through. I'm so excited. Maybe I should have queued up a drum roll. But,
you really should have done something.
Yeah. All right. So, fiancés.
Are you there? Are you listening? Are you with us?
We have been listening. Now we're answering the call. Beginning Monday, August 19th, we're adding a new show. We're adding a new show, a new weekly show. It'll be from 6:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Monday nights, you'll be kicking it with the fiancés. Live, because it will be live streamed.
Bid ya.
You'll be able to watch us and chat it up on YouTube. Right now, in our bio, is a link to the District 9 Creative Solutions YouTube. Go ahead, subscribe. The live stream's already scheduled. August 19th.
Hit the bell.
Hit the bell for alerts. This show, again, it will be weekly. It will be available for replay on the PWG app. I'll make sure we get a link for that app up. And that app is available in the App Store, Google Play Store, Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV. So we hit this point after year plus of deliberation of how exactly to make this happen. When we did our live stream on Instagram a couple of weeks ago, we walked away from that feeling really, really good with the engagement that we got with you guys. Just being able to, discuss something that happened immediately, be able to engage with people commenting in that moment. And we want more of that. And you guys have been telling us for a long time, we need a longer show. We need more days in the week. We need this. We need that. And hey, man, listen, who are we to deny what we both want? This is what we both want from the engagement, from the relationship. So yes.
Well,
yeah.
I will tell you, we got a text that says prime time. Let's go. And I believe this is P-Town, says, shut the front door. I love Mondays. Nice time right before the Antique Roadshow.
Nice.
Amazing. Thank you.
Nice. Yeah. There's just so much news that happens between Thursday and Thursday.
Too much news.
Too much news. We get caught out there on the weekend and it's like, we got to wait till Thursday.
And yeah, like I like the idea of doing this on a Monday because now, it used to be that the news cycle pretty much ended on Friday.
Yeah.
And, whoa boy, not the truth Ruth anymore.
At all.
And I guess it hasn't been for a while, but anyway, Mondays seem like a good way to start. Like we'll get to start the week and then we'll get to sort of end the week and, with our fiancés. Yeah. And I'm really excited. I'm also very terrified and very excited. But we get to cuss over there.
We do get to cuss over there on YouTube. I do.
No, we don't. Demonetized or whatever.
I'm excited about the fiancé's ability to be able to see the faces that you're making, so that way they understand my reactions. Because there are those moments where there's just a pause, and it's like because of the face. It's like we're just caught in the moment, and yeah. So, yeah, this is going to feel different. It's going to feel different. These episodes, again, will be available. We'll do some clips on the YouTube channel. We'll have the full videos available on, the PWG app. We'll also be, editing the audio for podcasts, wherever you are listening to our podcast, with the exception of Spotify. It felt good to get that out.
What do y'all think? Are you excited by a Monday show?
2 hours of us.
Are you excited for 2 hours? I don't know. Is it okay to ask if people are excited about this?
Yeah.
I don't know how any of this works, but I'm excited. I don't have any energy today, so it doesn't sound like I am, but I really am. I'm, like I said, also terrified, but mostly excited. Ready to work. Ready to do more.
Yes. What do you... So you already said you're terrified about, live and being on camera.
Yeah.
But primarily, you've been live in so many shapes, forms, and fashions, hosting events, all of that stuff.
Yeah, I'm pretty great.
Yeah. What are you most looking forward to with this endeavor?
Honestly, I think more opportunity to engage with folks. And to get to talk about things that aren't, or talk about them in a more in-depth way, potentially. And it won't be the same exact show. It's not necessarily we'll do stories, right? We're fleshing that part out.
Right.
But it is a news with my fiance. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
It's not like we're changing the format too much. But
right.
But yeah, like I'm excited to expand.
Yeah.
That for me is very, I feel behind, and I also am excited to be a part of growing the show.
Yes. I'm excited about growing the team. I'm excited about the people that we're working with and the people that said they want to work with us.
Yes.
To help this transition, help this new thing. Like, I'm going to love getting together with this team on Mondays, who's available, come in and help us do this thing.
Oh, big time.
Yeah. It's going to be, oh, man. P-Town said, how do I get the show? Okay. So there's currently a link in our bio for District 9's YouTube. That's where the show is going to end up. You hit that bio, hit that link, booyaka, you're in there. And again, subscribe to the channel, set notifications for alerts. So anytime the show goes live, you know exactly where to find us and you'll be able to just pop it up on your device. And then again, once the show is completed, we'll have some clips on that YouTube channel. We already have some views of my fiance clips up there. We might have some news of my fiance shorts up there as well. If you go to that YouTube channel, you'll see we just moved the RSS feed for both news and views over there. So all of our episodes are available to listen from that YouTube as well. But yes, that's where the show is going to end up.
We got a text that says, Mondays are my Thursdays. So I'll have y'all two for 2 Thursdays a week in this economy? Malcolm, you get us twice.
Get us twice, Malcolm.
I'm so excited.
And that's Michelle.
Michelle said, feel the hype and love, Morgan. We're here and engaged with y'all. Yes! I hope you feel my excitement. It's really real. I'm pumped. Like, yeah. I really am. We've had a couple of really great meetings and we're working on some live events and all of those things and stuff. Oh yeah. So yeah, when you say what am I most excited for, I am excited for expansion. I'm excited to the idea of even having a team. You just said I'm excited to work with this team, and I'm like, a team? Like, poor Kyle has done everything around here. Nebraska, we miss you. We miss you, Nebraska. But yeah, like I'm pumped. Yeah. And that was news with my fiance.
It was, man. It was. Whew.
We did it. We even shortened it a little bit, and not major purpose, but we can't. It's not enough time to do the other story.
Yeah. Yeah. But you know what? Starting on Mondays, on the 19th, we're gonna have 2 hours to rock with. That's 3.5 hours a week. News. Mm-hmm. That's awesome. So yeah, thank you. Today's show was made possible thanks to Morgan Jones, DJ Ambush, and our podcast editor, Kyle G. Thank you so much for all the encouragement after the announcement. Thank you so much for the engagement throughout the entire show. You know that we love it. The playlist is complete, so you can see the songs we played today, and you know how it goes. Don't let the individuals distract you from the systems. Poverty is a policy choice. People over profits. Power to the people. None of us are free until we are all free. Thank you so much.
Bye.